Hi guys, this is my 7 things that were really frustrating when I first became a vegan. Number 1, vegan friendly places or places with vegan options. Okay, I have to say, I have been a little bit disappointed with this. Firstly, I was at an Italian restaurant that served pizza, and the options for vegans were a pizza without cheese. Some may argue that this is not a pizza if it's got no cheese on it. However, if it was a vegan friendly place, they would actually serve vegan cheese to complete the pizza. So that was a little bit disappointing, and on top of that they charged extra for removing the cheese. So I don't know how that works. And my other experience was I was offered an allergy list when I asked the waiter, what vegan options do you have? It was advertised as a vegan friendly place. He disappeared in the kitchen, came back 5-10 minutes later with the allergy list, so you have to figure out yourself what you can and you could not eat. So a little bit disappointing, hope it gets better. So that was number 1. Number 2, inflated prices. Have you ever heard the phrase, it's expensive to be vegan? Well, in this case it is. If you're eating out a lot or having ready-made meals, it can get quite expensive. The bottom line is that most of the cafes, restaurants, fast food places, I feel like are taking advantage of their customers. It should have improved by now, as there are many vegans. The numbers are going up each year. It's at a record high. We have to pay high-end prices for low-end products and services sometimes as well, so it doesn't really balance out. Number 3, customer service. Customer service, I've put this one on the list because I've had a few issues with the places that I visited. First one being cleanliness or their lack of. I've been to places where cutlery, plates, glassware, table, just in general, it's not been cleaned properly, and when you go to a place you expect it to be clean, at least the minimum, bare minimum, and like I said before, paying high-end prices for low-end products and services, so at least keep the place clean. And now this could be because of a number of reasons. It could be the laid-backness of the people that are working there, which is a good thing, you know, being laid back and relaxed. It's a nice atmosphere. However, when it comes to cleanliness, it's not. The second one is dealing with customer complaints. I got served a milkshake and it was a little bit watery. Didn't taste like the first time round, so I took it back, and the way the query was dealt with wasn't satisfying really. They didn't seem that bothered. It was a popular restaurant, a well-known one as well. Also, the consistency in food quality, I've noticed, has been different on many of the occasions. For example, I had a chicken burger at one place. The following time I went back, ordered the same chicken burger. Well, when I say chicken, it's seitan meat. And the outside of it was so hard that it was really hard to bite into and to tear it apart, and it was just difficult to eat. Now, I don't even know how that got served in the first place, but it did, and it just shows that consistency is not key in a lot of these places. It's happened with other foods as well in other vegan places. So consistency and cleanliness and customer service. Number 4, timetable. What I mean by that is opening times, days that they're open. Some places have been shut down for years but it's still advertised as open. This may be down to Google, who advertise these places, and not being kept up to date with the times and opening and closures of places. Another well-known app which tells you where you can find vegan places only listed 11 places near where I live. Now, when I took a closer look, I did a bit of my own research, I found over 30 places where I could have had a vegan meal. So even the most popular app didn't tell or recommend where I could go and get some vegan food. And I've been to some places where I've arrived and the place has been completely shut down for 5 years. On the website it didn't mention anything about that. I turned up expecting it to be open. Another place I phoned up and the guy on the other side said, Thursdays we open at 6:30, we start serving vegan food at 6:30. Fridays the chef doesn't come in. Sundays we're closed. So it's a little bit weird and random, the opening times and the closing times and days that they were open. So I think that needs to change as well, because it's not certain times, okay, I'm going to eat at 6:30 because you're open at 6:30. You want to eat when you're hungry, and you want to eat when you're out with friends, or whenever you want to eat. Yeah. So it reduces that option for when you want to go and eat. The next three are somewhat related. Number 5. First one is milk. Now milk is a hidden ingredient. It's in a lot of the products out there. I learnt, not the hard way, but I learnt over time. It took me a little while to get my head around it. It comes in many forms. You've got whey, casein, milk powder, and you can more or less find it in everything, ranging from crisps, biscuits, cakes. So main way to get around it is to read the ingredients list all the time. That's just the safest way. Don't assume that it might not have milk, just double check all the time. Milk was also another problem for me because I loved coffee. Alternative milk was not on offer in all the places at convenience. If I wanted a coffee, just to go and get one, not every place offered that. The big brands do offer them now, however there's an extra charge attached with it. So if you do want a coffee in one of these big brand chains, you will need to pay extra for it. The coffee at home with the soy milk, almond milk, it wouldn't blend or mix properly with the coffee. So I had a few issues with milk, so just watch out for this one and always read the labels. Number 6, butter. Another hidden ingredient in many products. You can find them in pastry, croissants, donuts, biscuits, cake. If you've got a sweet tooth, you might struggle with this one a little bit. So again, reading the labels, reading the ingredients list is a must. I've stumbled on it a few times, but eventually you realise and you do read those ingredients lists. But it's a really hard one. For example, I've travelled many miles just to get a slice of cake, a piece of cake from a different town, and I wanted a donut once, and I went all the way to the cake shop, vegan cake shop, and they ran out of donuts. So it is a little bit of a struggle. It is getting better, more places are opening up, so we'll see how that one turns out. Number 7 is eggs. Eggs, hidden, not hidden, yeah, it could be hidden. You just have to be careful with this one because a lot of people assume that when it says non-dairy, that eggs are included, but eggs are not included in this category. Things like ice cream, I saw an ice cream once and it said non-dairy. I reached out for it, I took it, I bought it, and only when I got home and read the ingredients list it contained egg. So non-dairy doesn't necessarily mean that it's vegan friendly. Okay. Another product that I have, protein shakes. Also, you have to be careful because if it says veggie shake, it contains egg in it, so be careful with this one. 100% safe is a vegan shake or a vegan ice cream. So the last 3 that we looked at are hidden ingredients. Those were the most difficult ones to get over. They were really frustrating. But eventually over time you realise and you do spend that little time reading the ingredients list and it becomes second nature and you do it really quick afterwards. Okay, this wraps up our 7 things that were frustrating for me when I became a vegan. I would really like to hear your thoughts and opinions, so leave your comments in the appropriate place and I will get back to you.